Hello guys, so today we are going to read the laws of human nature, the concise laws of human nature. So let's start from where we have left. Envier types. According to the psychoanalyst Melanie Klein, 1882 to 1960, certain people are prone to feeling envy their entire lives, and this begins in early infancy. A parent is said to their entire lives, they are children and later adults for whom nothing is ever quite good enough. Depending on their psychological makeup, they will tend to conform to certain envying types. It is of great benefit to be able to recognize such types early on, because they are the ones most likely to turn active with their envy. The following are 5 common varieties of enviers, how they tend to disguise themselves, and their particular forms of attack. The leveler. When you first meet them, levelers can seem rather entertaining and interesting. They also seem to have a keen nose for injustice and unfairness in this world. But where they differ from people with genuine empathy for underdogs is that levelers cannot recognize or participate excellence in almost anyone, except those who are dead. You will notice that though they can put others down, they do not take easily to any jokes at their expense. They often celebrate low culture and trash because mediocre work does not stir their insecurities. Their main goal is to bring everyone down to the same mediocre level they occupy. This sometimes means leveling not only achievers and the powerful but also those who are having too good a time, who seem to be enjoying themselves too much, or who have too great a sense of purpose which levelers lack. Be wary around such types, particularly in the workplace, because they will make you feel guilty for your own impulse to excel. The self-entitled slacker. In the world today, many people rightfully feel entitled to have success and the good things in life, but they usually understand that this will require sacrifice and hard work. Some people, however, feel they deserve attention and many rewards in life as if these are naturally due to them. These self-entitled slackers are generally quite narcissistic. They will make the briefest outline for a novel or screenplay they want to write, or an idea for a brilliant because and feel that that is enough to attract praise and attention. But deep down, these slackers feel insecure about their ability to get what they want. That is why they have never really developed the proper discipline. When they find themselves around high achievers who work very hard and have earned true respect for their work, this will make them aware of the doubts about themselves they have been trying to repress. They will move quickly from envy to hostility. Be extra careful in the work environment with those who like to maintain their position through charm and being political, rather than being by getting things done. By They are very prone to envying and hating those who work hard and get results. They will slander and sabotage you without any warning. The status friend. As social animals, we humans are very sensitive to our rank and position within any group. But for some people, status is more than a way of measuring social position. It is the most important determinant of their self-worth. You will notice such friends by the questions they ask about how much money you make, whether you own your home, what kind of neighborhood it's in, whether you occasionally fly business class, and all of the other pretty petty things that they can use as points of a comparison if you are of a higher social status than they are. They will conceal their envy by appearing to admire your success, but if you are a peer or happen to work with them, they will be sniffing for any sign of favoritism or privileges they don't have, and they will attack you in underhanded ways, undermining your position within the group. Recognize status friends fiends. Recognize status fiends by how they reduce everything to material considerations when they comment on the clothes you wear or the car you drive. They seem to focus on the money these things must have cost, and as they talk about such things, you will notice something childish in their demeanor, as if they were reliving a family drama in which they felt cheated by a sibling who had something better. Don't be fooled by their driving an older car or dressing shabbily. These types will often try to assert their status in the opposite direction by being the consummate monk, the idealistic hippie, while secretly yearning for the luxurious they cannot get through hard work. If you are around such types, try to downplay or conceal what you have that might trigger envy and talk up their possessions, skills, and status in whatever you can. The attacher. In any court like environment of power, you will inevitably find people who are drawn to those who are successful or powerful, not out of admiration but out of secret envy. They find a way to attach themselves as friends or assistants. They make themselves useful. They may admire their boss for some qualities, but deep down they believe they are entitled to have some of the attention he or she is getting without all the hard work. The longer they are around the high achiever, the more this feeling gnaws at them. They have talent, they have dreams. Why should the person they work for be so favored? They are good at concealing the undercurrent of envy of through excessive fawning, but these types attach themselves because it gives them some kind of satisfaction to spoil and wound the person who has more. They are drawn to the powerful out of a desire to harm them in some way. They are drawn to the powerful out of a desire to harm them in some way. In general, they vary by of those who are too eager to attach themselves to your life, too impatient to make themselves useful. They try to draw you into a relationship not by their experience and competence but by the flattery and attention they gave you. Their form of attack is to gather information on you that they can leak out or spread as gossip. Your reputation, learn to hire and work with those who have experience rather than just a pleasing manner. The insecure master. The insecure master. For some people, reaching a high position validates their self opinion and boosts their self esteem. But there are some who are more anxious. Holding a high position tends to increase their insecurities, which they are careful to conceal. They look at others who might have more talent, even those below them, with an envious eye. You will work for such bosses under the assumption they are self assured and confident. You will work extra hard to impress them, show them you are a person on the way up, only to find yourself after several months suddenly demoted or fired, which makes little sense since you had a clearly delivered results. You did not realize you were dealing with the insecurity variety and bad inadvertently triggered their self-doubts. Okay, so the insecure master. Uh, by reading this, I remembered a law from 48 Laws of Power, that is, never outshine your master. If you are working for your boss, like it can be any boss, it doesn't matter that he has to be, the insecure one. You should not, uh, you know, you should not outperform, or you should not show your full potential that yes, I can do more or better than you, better than your boss. If you do that, it will arouse envy, or it will arouse envy or scarcity that this person might be the next boss. It could be, they can think about anything, so they can demote you or fire you because they are insecure about their position that you are better than them. Okay, so keep in mind, whenever you deal with insecure master, never outshine your master. If your master is present, take some help from them, get him involved so that he can feel that yes, I have to be the boss, I am the boss. Without me, no works goes around. I mean, not fully dependent on him, but ask him whenever you have the opportunity. Yeah, that's it. Pay attention to those above you for signs of insecurity or envy. They will inevitably have a track record of firing people for strange reasons. They will not seem particularly happy with the excellent report you turned in. Always play it safe by deferring to bosses, making them look better and earning their trust. Couch your brilliant ideas as their ideas. Let them get all the credit for your hard work. Your time to shine will come, but not if you inadvertently stimulate their insecurities. Okay? Now let's read about envy triggers. Although certain types are more prone to envy, you must also be aware that there are circumstances that will tend to trigger envy in almost anyone. The most common trigger is a sudden change in your status, which alters your relationship to friends and peers. This is particularly true among people in your own profession. Do not take so personally their faint praise and veiled criticisms, but be aware that among some of these peers, envy can turn active and dangerous. The best you can do in such situations is to have some self-deprecating humor and to not rub people's faces in your success, which after all might contain some element of luck. For those closest to you, offer to help them in their struggles as best you can without appearing patronizing. Okay. Keep in mind that people who are getting older with their careers on the decline have delicate egos and are quite prone to experiencing envy. If you have any natural gifts that elevate you above others, you must be aware of the dangers and avoid flaunting such talents. Instead, you want to strategically reveal some flaws to blunt people's envy and mask your natural superiority. Show your intellectual clumsiness at subjects outside your expertise. Women who achieve success and fame are more prone to attracting envy and hostility, although this will always be veiled as something else. Such women are said to be too cold or ambitious or unfeminine. A high-achieving woman inflicts greater feeling of safe inferiority in both other men and women. I am inferior to a woman, which leads to envy and hostility, not admiration. Successful women will have to be even more adept at deflecting envy and playing the humble card. If you find yourself under an envy attack, your best strategy is to control your emotions. At all costs, maintain your composure. If possible, get some physical distance as well, fire them. Cut off contact. Whatever is possible, the best strategy is to let them stew in their cold prison from a distance without any future means of wounding you. Finally, you might imagine that is a somewhat is a rare occurrence in the modern world. But the truth is that envy is more prevalent now than ever before, largely because of social media. Through social media, we have a continual window into the lives of friends, pseudo friends, and celebrities, and what we see is not some unvarnished peek into their world but a highly idealized image that they present. What we experience in this case is a generalized feeling of dissatisfaction, low grade envy. Sits inside us, waiting to be triggered into the more acute variety. If something we read or see intensifies our insecurities. What this means is simple. We will find more and more people around us prone to feeling passive envy that can turn into the virulent form if we are not careful. We must be prepared to feel its effects coming from friends, colleagues, and the public if we are in the public eye. Beyond envy. Like most humans, you will tend to deny that you ever experience envy, at least strong enough to act on. Let us be realistic. However, and realize that it's almost impossible to rid ourselves of the compulsion to compare ourselves with others. It is too ingrained in our nature in our nature as a social animal. Instead, what we must aspire to is to slowly transform our comparing inclination into something positive, productive, and social. The following are 5 simple exercises to help you in achieving this. Okay, so there are some 5 exercises are given. Number 1. Okay, let me mark this. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. This is number 5. Move closer to what you envy. Envy thrives on relative closeness. In a corporate environment where people see each other every day, in a family, in a neighborhood, in any group of peers, but nothing is ever so perfect as it seems, and often we would see that we are mistaken if we only look too closely enough, spend time with that family you envy and wish you had as your own. हाँ ये बात तो है. The process of moving closer is twofold. On the one hand, try to actually look behind the glittering facades people present, and on the other hand, simply imagine the inevitable disadvantages that go along with their position. I didn't understand this. Move closer to what you envy, huh? Why should I move closer to a person whom I envy? Envy thrives on relative closeness in a corporate environment where people see each other every day. In a family, in a neighborhood, in any group of peers, but something is never so perfect as it seems, and often we could see that we are mistaken if we only look too closely enough. Spend time with that family you envy and wish you had as your own, and you will begin to reassess your opinion. Oh, okay, I got it. So basically, this point this point is trying to convey the message that, let's say there is a family in my neighborhood and I envy them, for example. And now, if I want to get rid of my envy, move closer to that family whom I envy. Now I am with the family, and now I can see the flaws, the fights, the every bad situation, and now I can reshape my envy thought that yes, it is not what I thought about it. Okay, I got it. Mhm. Number 2, engage in downward comparisons. You normally focus on those who seem to have more than you, but it would be wiser to look at those who have less. This should stimulate not only empathy for the many who have less, but also greater gratitude for what you actually possess. Such gratitude is the best antidote to envy. Okay. As a related exercise, you can write up all the positive things in your life that you tend to take for granted. Yeah, we can be gratitude. Like if we are, let's say I'm a person who are envying that the person has iPhone, then I must look a person who is working in his childhood, but instead of having phone, he has work, or you can say he has to work for his family, right? So then I will realize that yeah, at least I have my phone. Yeah, okay, noted. So be grateful. Okay. Number 3, practice Mitfreud. What is this Mitfreud? Let me check the meaning. Mitfreud. 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 The feeling of sharing in another person's happiness or success. Okay, practice Mitfreud means you have to. Okay, Mitfreud is a German word which means joy with. Joy with. Okay, if someone is successful and he's happy, find happiness in that too. Schadenfreude Schadenfreude, the experience of pleasure in the pain of other people, is distinctly related to envy, as several studies have demonstrated. But it would be wise to practice instead the opposite. What the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche called Mitfreud joying with. Okay, the meaning is written here. This means that instead of merely congratulating people on their good fortune, something easy to do and easily forgotten, you must instead actively try to feel their joy as a form of empathy. Because it is such a rare occurrence, it contains great power to bond people, and in internalizing other people's joy, we increase our own capacity to feel this emotion in relation to our own experiences. Oh, that's it. Today I can read this, and from tomorrow I can read, like, chapter 11. Okay. Number 4, transmute envy into emulation. Emulation doesn't emulation means game? Oh, that's simulation. We cannot stop the comparing mechanism in our brains, so it is best to redirect it into something productive and creative. Instead of wanting to hurt or steal from the person who have achieved more, we should desire to raise ourselves up to his level. To make this work require a few psychological shifts. First, we must come to believe that we have the capacity to raise ourselves up. Okay, first we have to believe that we have the capacity of ourselves to raise. Okay, so this is the first thing. And second, we must develop a solid work ethic to back this up. Okay, if we are rigorous and persistent, we will be able to overcome almost any obstacle and elevate our position. Related to this, having a sense of purpose, a feel for your calling in life, is a great way to immunize yourself against envy. Okay, related to this, having a sense of purpose. Okay, I think this is third point. A feel for your calling in life is a great way to immunize yourself against envy. Second is, we must develop a solid work ethic to back this up. If we are rigorous and persistent, we will be able to overcome almost any obstacle and elevate our position. Okay. Admire human greatness. Admiration is the polar opposite of envy. We are acknowledging people's achievements, celebrating them without having to feel insecure. In recognizing the greatness of someone, we are celebrating the high potential of our species. Such admiration elevates us above the pettiness of our day-to-day life, and we will have a calming effect. Finally, it is worth cultivating moments in life in which we feel immense satisfaction and happiness divorced from our own success or achievements. These are sublime moments and as far removed from the pettiness and poisons of envy as possible. For not many men can love a friend whose fortune prospers without envying, and about the envious brain cold prison, clings and doubles all the pain. Life brings him his own woundings he must nurse, and feel another's gladness like a curse. Aeschylus. Aeschylus, okay. This is a very good quote. Let me take a picture of it. So yep guys, that's it for today. We will see you in the next video. In next video we will read chapter 11, Know Your Limits, the law of grandiosity. Okay, so that's it. See ya.